Hello everyone, my name's Hemingway Jones and welcome to Hemingway Jones Presents. This is a new series on my channel where I get right to the point and I introduce you to something new. Today, we're going to do a fountain pen buyer's guide. So, let's get into it. Buying your first fountain pen is a very big deal. It tends to set the tone with what you will do after. So if you're coming to fountain pens from the ballpoint pen world, then you may want to consider getting your first nib as a fine nib. A fine nib is a very small nib that helps you to write with precision to keep a nice, consistent, beautiful line, but it really doesn't sacrifice smoothness or technique. Okay, let's shop for some pens. If you want the quintessential fountain pen experience for a little bit of money, then you simply cannot beat the Twisby Eco. Why the Twisby Eco? Well, you get a lot of the functions and fun of more expensive pens in a pen that costs around $35 US. That's not a bad deal at all. So it has the essence of everything that's great about a fountain pen. It has a fantastic nib that comes in a variety of sizes. Each one is smooth and fantastic and reliable. It's also an internal piston-filled pen, a feature you often find in much more expensive pens. And each Twisby Eco is a demonstrator, which means that it's basically transparent and becomes the color of whatever ink you have in it. You can also see the ink sloshing about while you use it, which is super fun. So the lovely thing about Twisby is it's very reliable, it's very strong. It does fill directly from a bottle, so there are some things you need to learn, like how to fill a pen and how to clean it off. But once you get going with it, you'll be able to enjoy any color ink and really get the full range and experience of writing with a fountain pen. Now, there are a few considerations with the Twisby Eco. First off is that it has a twist on and off cap. So if you're doing a lot of note-taking throughout your day, there's a lot of twisting on and twisting off, and that can get a little tiring, so keep that in mind. Also, don't just buy the pen, you need to buy some ink too. It cannot write without a bottle of ink to fill it. So this is when you can have some fun and pick an interesting color. I would suggest something like Diamine Oxblood. It's this really beautiful visceral red that will get you out of the mindset of black or blue and really open up some of the great possibilities of writing with a fountain pen. Personally, the Twisby Eco is one of my favorites. I write with it all the time. I find it's better for journaling when I'm going to unscrew that cap and then write for a long period of time. And when I'm going to be taking notes and working very hurriedly, I usually pick our next option. If you want a pen that makes you look like an executive but on a budget, you cannot beat the Pilot Metropolitan. At only $24 US, you get a lot of pen. First of all, Pilot nibs are legendary for their reliability, their precision, and their beauty. They're also a lot of fun to write with. And very importantly, it has a very satisfying snap click cap. So it's easy on, easy off, very easy to write with. You can post this pen, and at $24, you need not worry about it if you throw it in your bag. Though, as pretty as it is, you'll probably find yourself slipping it into your lapel pocket. It also comes in a rainbow of colors and patterns, but for business, you cannot beat the silver or the black iteration. Now, there are a couple of considerations with this. With Pilot nibs, a medium nib is closer to a fine in a European nib, something like a Twisby. The other consideration is that it comes with a squeeze converter. They're not my favorite type of converters. They're a bit on the primitive side, but they do work. So you just simply squeeze the converter with the nib immersed in ink, let it go for a few seconds and it'll fill it. You can also use cartridges on it, but Pilot does have proprietary cartridges, so I think it's always better to use a converter so you can fill directly from a bottle and choose whatever ink color you like. Plus, bottles of ink look really charming and interesting on your desk. I think the best thing about this pen is that it looks quite expensive, but it isn't. So you can have all the benefit of having a very stylish, beautiful pen, but you only set out maybe $25 for it plus ink. Not so bad. If you're looking for a pen that's very easy to use right out of the box, but is also extremely stylish, then I recommend the Lamy Safari. This modern design masterpiece is an exquisite fountain pen. It features an ergonomic grip that has slots for your fingers so that you can write comfortably for long periods of time. It's also made out of ABS plastic, basically the same stuff you make Legos out of. So it is incredibly tough. You can toss it in a backpack, toss it in a bag, and you really don't have to worry about any harm coming to it. It comes in the box with a slip of cardboard between the section and the barrel. So when you get the pen, you simply take the barrel off, remove the cardboard sleeve, screw the barrel back in, and that forces the cartridge into the feed and the nib so you're ready to write right away. Also, each pen is tested at the factory, so occasionally you might see a little bit of ink residue on the nib already where someone has tested it, but that's good peace of mind. These pens come in a rainbow of colors, and there's always a few special editions each year, making it very interesting. You never run out of options with this pen. Now, if you want to fill it with ink from a bottle, then you need to buy the Z28 converter that is sold separately, so keep that in mind. It does have a snap cap, which is very convenient. It also has a fantastic clip for clipping to your shirt or anywhere else you want to stow it. It's just a fantastic, all-around, well-designed, incredibly executed, very comfortable and brilliant fountain pen. Our last option is for those of you that just want to be done with it and buy the best and the most perfect iteration of a pen without it being too obscenely expensive. Well, the perfect pen for you is the Pilot Custom 823. This pen sells for around $288 US, and for that you get one of the most exquisite and perfect fountain pen writing experiences at any price. This is a fountain pen enthusiast's fountain pen. So the interesting thing about this pen is it has a vacuum filling system. It's very dramatic. It has a plunger that you unscrew, pull back, plunge into a bottle of ink, push it down, and there's this hydraulic whoosh of the rush of ink that fills it. Has a very high capacity of ink, which makes it fantastic to write with for extended periods. There's probably weeks of ink within that pen, and another benefit is that when it's screwed all the way down, it seals off the body of the pen, so it makes it a perfect pen to fly with. It won't expand and burp ink and get ink all over the place mid-flight. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this pen is if you are writing with it for extended periods, you need to vent the back of the pen. So you simply unscrew it and leave a gap of around 2 millimeters and you should be fine. In the United States, this pen comes in two colors: smoke, which is a translucent black, and amber, which is a translucent brownish. I think the amber is absolutely gorgeous. It's a fantastic pen. Now, it is the most expensive option. However, once you buy this pen, you certainly can buy another fountain pen, but you never need to. One thing to keep in mind is that the cap does not have a protective ring of metal around the plastic edge, so be very careful that you don't drop it and chip it. Now, this pen features one of the most amazing nibs in any pen at any price point, and that's the Pilot 14 karat gold nib. It is absolutely brilliant. It's very smooth, very precise, yet still transmits some of the essence of the paper that you're writing on. So this, the filling system, the fact that it's easy to fly, its beauty, its balance, all of these reasons makes it one of the most amazing pens at any price. Well, you simply cannot go wrong with any of these choices, but if it were me and I were buying my first pen, I would reach for that Twisby Eco. Now there might be a little bit of a learning curve as you learn how to fill it, but we'll be talking about how to do that in a later video. But the best part is it gives you access to every company's inks, so you can express yourself in a very unique and amazing way. You can choose a signature ink that's all your own, and people will simply know you by the sight of that color. That's pretty fun. It's also fantastically smooth, great to write with, and competes with other pens that are as much as 10 times as expensive. It's that good. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this guide to buying your first fountain pen. What do you think of my choices? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you know someone who's getting into fountain pens, please share this video with them. I hope it helps them. Feel free to ask me any question in the comments. I keep my eye on those. And also, if you would, please subscribe and follow along for more of these guides. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.